Jai Hind dear students, today in this video we will going to discuss briefly about the chapter number 5 of history, when people rebel 1857 and after. Before moving forward with the reasons for the happening of this revolt of 1857, let us recall what we have discussed. We discussed how Britishers they arrived to the Indian subcontinent and how they gained control over the larger area. As we know, the 1757 Battle of Plassey was the turning point for the Britishers. By this, they gained control over the larger political area of the subcontinent. From the period of 1757 to 1857, generally this span of 100 years not only helped the Britishers to expand their territories but also faced different type of protest and rebellion from the different class of people and the different sections of societies. These protest rebellion although are coming from the smaller regions, and this could not ignite into a mass revolt. These different sections of societies generally include the royal families, that is Nawabs, Brahmins, peasants, sepoys, and so on. Entirely all these sections of societies they were having the feeling of resentment because of the introduction of Britishers' policies and laws, which generally hurted their traditional values, religious sentiments, their economic failure, and so on. That's why we categorize these reasons into the political cause, economic cause, social cause, military cause, and so on. The military cause that is related to the sepoys was can be considered as the immediate cause for the happening of this revolt of 1857. As we discussed in the chapter number 2, how the company brings some reforms in the army, and we have discussed that one of the reform was the introduction of new type of weapons, that is generally the musket. The difference in the old weapon and the new weapon is that it generally reduces the time period in loading a particular gun. To load a musket, first you need to put the gunpowder and then fix the bullet by using a stick. So company introduced cartridges. These cartridges were paper pack, and these paper pack include a bullet and a fixed amount of your gunpowder, and it generally helped these boys as now they were not overloading the gunpowder, है ना? So the amount of the gunpowder was now precise. The thing is, this cartridge was believed to be grease with the animal fat of pig and cow. And as you know, that this hurted the religious sentiment of Muslim and the Hindus. This was the reason that now the sepoys they were reluctant to work for the Britishers. Also, the introduction of a new law, which was sending the sepoys out of the subcontinent, that is by the sea. And they believe that by leaving the land or going to the sea will going to result into the uh, generally the leaving of their own religion. or giving up of their own religion. And because of these two reasons mainly, the sepoys were reluctant to work for the company. This result into the happening of protest in the different parts of the country, starting from the Meerut itself. In the Meerut, Mangal Pandey generally killed one of the officer of the company's army, and this resulted into the giving up of the punishment to the Mangal Pandey. From this Meerut, this revolt gained ignition and it moved to the different regiments of the army, later gaining the support of the royal people, that is the Nawab, the freedom fighters. This was the reason that this particular revolt gained the support of the different sections of the society. As the peoples, they were having the feeling of resentment, they were full of anger, and they believe that our enemy is one and same. Historians also believe that this arises the feeling of nationalism in the people. Now they were united by one, and their enemy is one and only British. The combining of the interest of the people generally helped in gaining the mass movement to this particular revolt. But the Britishers, they don't want to lose the golden bird, that is the India. They ask for the support from the Britishers, and generally put down the revolt by aiming at the main centers of this particular revolt. So, this was a brief summary of the chapter number 5 of Revolt of 1857.